Welcome, Guitar Maniacs, to Mac Guitar Mania. This is episode 5 in my Headrush for Beginners series, and today we're going to tackle one of the coolest features that will make your sound massive. If you have the Headrush Core, Prime, or Flex Prime, this is such a simple trick, but it makes your sound output so much bigger and broader than you could ever imagine. What am I talking about? Amp and cab doubling. 1 + 1 = 2 in one block. So you can have 2 amps in one block, 2 cabs in one block, saving your blocks, boosting your output like never before. Stick around to the end. You'll be a master at amp and cab doubling for massive sound. What are the benefits and reasons for using doubled amps and doubled cabs? First of all, you get a thicker, broader sound. Imagine 2 amps compared to 1. You can also create a real stereo image, especially if you put one amp that's clean on one side and the other amp that's dirty on the other side. You get this wild mix of clean and dirty in one that just is hard to describe. You're going to hear it, but it's hard to describe. Imagine mixing a nice clean Fender twin reverb with a nasty dirty plexi amp all through one signal, one block. All right, it's time to jump in and show you just how easy and cool it is to use amp and cab doubling. But before we do that, if you enjoy this kind of stuff where I talk about the Headrush models or even guitars and gear and geeky stuff, be sure to subscribe. I need to know if you like this kind of stuff, and subscribing is the best way to tell me. And definitely leave a comment and tell me what you like, what you don't like, what you'd like to learn more about, and what you don't want to hear about anymore. And while you're at it, why don't we get a thumbs up? Come on, help a brother out. Okay, let's dive right on in and see how cool and how easy it is to set this up. If you've been watching my Headrush for Beginners series, you know that by now we have an easy rig set up. We call it New Easy Rig. Pretty basic, pretty simple. Now let's look at our screen and see what we have so far. We have a compressor, we have the glorious drive, we have the 89 SL 100 clean amp with one of the presets, we have a 4x12 classic 30-watt speaker, some reverb, and a dynamic delay. It's very basic. All we have to do is go over to the amp, just click it once, and then look over in the top right corner here. You're going to see an X2 right there. See that? Click that and watch what happens. You get 2 options. Stereo doubling offers to use 2 amps or cabs placed left and right within a single slot to create a wider stereo image. Both amps and cabs will always be active. Now that's what we're going to mess with today. The other option is to use switch doubling, which offers to switch between 2 amps or cabs within a single slot. You can have one on or the other one on, but not both. Right now we're doing stereo because we want big sound. So let's click the top option. There we go. We have 2 amps, and by default they will be the same amp, same settings. So I click on that one, the exact same settings over here on the left side. Now we can also double our amp cab. Let's do the same with the speaker. Go over to the right side here, click on the X2, do the same thing, stereo doubling, and there you go. 2 of the same speaker right there. Now here's what's pretty cool. We can do anything we want to these. We can change these to something completely different. We can make this one have more treble, more bass. We can make this one clean. We can make this one dirty. All right, let's see what we can do now with these 2 amps and 2 cabs we have. I want to mess around with this top amp. I can do a lot with it. I can turn the bright switch on. I can change the preset to something completely different, which will change the tone of it completely. I can adjust all the settings right here, and it will just make that amp the same amp, but it will sound differently. Now, before we go any further, I want to save this as a new rig so we can keep our New Easy Rig separate. So I'm going to save, and I'm going to say Save New Rig. I'm going to call it Doubled Easy Rig. Okay? Now we don't have to worry about losing that original one. I can use that for other demos. This one will be our doubled rig. Let's just hear how it sounds right now. We'll get back position on my Sire S3 and see how we sound. Sounds pretty sweet. Now what we can do is we can mess with one of these amps and change it all together. So let's turn on the bright switch there. Let's turn the treble up a little bit and a little more mids. And let's add more presence. Okay, and now turn the volume of the output level of this amp up so it kind of stands out in the mix. So you can see what happened. We can change the preset of one of these amps. Let's do that. Some of these might actually change the amplifier. So let me see what we could do here. Let's do the 85 M2 lead. Uh-oh, changed amps. We have the 85 M2 lead. That is now in our right signal. Let's see what happened. Now we can turn that one up because it's kind of being overshadowed by the clean signal. Need a little bit more. Okay, so you see automatically we just combined two amp sounds into one. Now if you are putting this into a mono system, which most PA systems end up being mono, this will sound like two amps mixed into one through both speakers. If you're using a stereo setup where there's actual left and right signals, this clean amp will come out of the left, the dirty amp will come out of the right. Check that out. Is that wild? Let's get rid of these cabs and put some IRs in their place. So all we need to do is drag one of them out of the way. It will get rid of them. And we're going to stick an IR here. But I do know this is a good one right here that I like. Let's try this one. All right. Well, all we need to do, go over here and click double. We just doubled our IR. It's pretty sweet, huh? See how this sounds. Now it sounds like our clean one is a lot stronger in the mix. So let's turn this amp down a bit. Let's hear it again. I want that dirty one to really be strong. You see how cool that is? I mean, we have a seriously clean sound mixing with a seriously dirty sound for just like incredible definition and depth and broadness to our sound. And change whatever we want on these IRs. IRs are great because you have built-in high cuts and low cuts. I already set these, but you know what? Sometimes you just want to make some more adjustments to really refine and define your sound. That's what's so great about using two amps and two cabs at the same time. Hey, while you're at it, don't forget one of the tricks we saw in one of my earlier videos. You can go into the EQ block of all four of these items. This amp, you can click on this little menu right here and open up the EQ mix. So you can change the tonal output even more right there. Same thing with these IRs. You can change the settings by going like that, turning on the EQ, then you can adjust it to your liking. It's incredible, so easy, and so much fun. Now, how are you going to use this new information? Give me your ideas below, maybe two amps that you really like to pair together. And I would love to know what speakers and IRs you like the most. Give me some comments below because I'm always trying to learn more about this stuff, even as I teach you guys. I am really grateful that you watch these videos. I appreciate all your support. I love hearing from you in the comment section. I really appreciate the thumbs up. And definitely feel free to email me. My address is in the description below. It's simple. It's mattgmania@gmail.com. I'll take your questions. I'll do my best to answer them. But for now, it's your turn to rock out with the stuff you just learned today.